Venom: The Last Dance. Now out, let's talk about it. Okay, so the third and final Venom film is now officially out for you guys to go and check out on the biggest screen possible. And this has been, look, Venom the franchise has been one of those franchises where it's dumb fun. Like, let's just be real. I don't go into the Venom movies expecting to get the Godfather. I go in there just like I go into the Godzilla, the Monsterverse of movies, to be entertained. I just want to see cool stuff happen. So, coming into the final one, we know that there was going to be a huge villain in here. Someone that is huge. Multiversal level threat. We're talking multiversal Avengers level threat in Null. If you guys know Null, man is a menace. He's not someone just to be trifled with. He's the real deal, man. So, we knew that was coming in. It was kind of weird because you're like, okay, it's the third and final Venom movie. You're bringing in someone of this caliber into a Venom movie? So it kind of made me feel like, oh, please don't tell me that they're just going to kill Null like that. So that was my big concern. But after watching The Last Dance, I don't know exactly how I feel about this movie compared to the other ones. Like, I don't think, look, I'm not going to say this movie is a 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, or an 8 out of 10. It's not. It's just like a decent Venom movie that we have become accustomed to when it comes to this sort of stuff that Sony have done with this stuff. Again, how Sony make the two Into the Spider-Verse movies that are like unbelievable, and then they go and churn out stuff like this. It's just crazy how they do that. But I don't know if I like this one more than the other two. Now, the things I have issues with this movie is there are certain things that happen in this movie that I felt like it was just filling in a void through the movie to make a runtime. I felt like there was some scenes, especially in the middle bit, that just felt like they were just put there to try and pass time rather than actually have any sort of meaning towards the story or any consequence or anything like that. That's how I felt watching it. Now, it's probably, that's probably not accurate. There's a purpose to everything that's in the film. Like, it's there to serve the story. But it just felt like that watching. I was kind of sitting there like, okay, can we just get to the third act? Like, that's how I felt watching this movie. I was like, okay. Opening was like, whoo, this is epic. Like, okay, now we're talking. And then it jumps into the stuff straight off the bat with Venom and Eddie. And you're like, okay, we're getting there. And then when you start to discover what's happening in that, it kind of gets dull and boring and slow. And you're like, okay. And then you meet this family who play a role as well, which, okay. I mean, there was a heartful moment in the movie revolving around the family. In particular, one of the characters in that family with Venom and Eddie that I really liked. And I was like, okay, that works. But that middle section was just like a snooze fest. I'm just going to say it was a snooze fest. It really was. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, do we just not have anything better to do? Can we not tell a different, could you not make an actual story that flows better and actually gave a bit more substance? So that was a bit of a downer. Another thing that didn't work for me is the ending, because it's obviously the third movie. So you have this big climactic third act, and the action in the third act was good, and we'll get to that. But the ending of the movie itself is tainted because of something that is revealed in the movie, and you already know, okay, well, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious what's about to happen, and that ending did not hit as well, because I was like, well, okay, here we go. I know exactly where this is going, what's happening, and it just sucks all the emotion out of that particular moment that you're supposed to feel for it, because you just know, because it's hinted straight off the bat, like very, very early on. So there's that. Now, the action in the third act was cool. Like, you got to see some other crazy stuff happen, and that was really, really cool. If you're someone that's really into the Venom side of the comics and stuff like that, you're going to get a kick out of that third act because there's some really cool reveals and stuff, and it was awesome. I really, really enjoyed it. And I must say, the design-wise of them was fantastic, and it looked good. And that's the main thing. So I really, really appreciated that. So they've come a long way from that first fight in Venom to where they were here. So I must say that improved. Now, as for Eddie and Venom, they have, their arc that they've been going on. And I did like, there's this moment at the end with like a montage and that of all the movies and stuff like that. And I felt like that was really nice. And it really does feel like, okay, these two, you can see where they came from the first time to where they come in here and how they became best friends and how they ended up needing each other. Not just needing each other because they were lonely, but they actually ended up needing each other to survive. So they create this bond. And I thought that was great. So that all worked. Now, as for Noel himself, look, I'm going to tell you guys right now, Noel is not in this movie very much. He's at the start, and he's, there's little bits throughout as they're explaining him and explaining why it's what's important, what's driving the story, and why he's where he is, what's going on. So you don't see much of Noel, okay? So you don't need to worry about them absolutely offing this insanely OP character in such a small-scaled movie. All right? So don't worry about that. Now, the design-wise, it looked really cool. Noel did look really cool. The voice Andy Serkis did fits perfectly. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with Noel moving forward now, because he's such a big character that has huge ramifications to a battle in the multiverse and the universes. So I'm interested to see what they go with there. So there's that. And then you have two post-credit scenes. One, it's like, okay, okay, so this is what's happening. Okay, I get it now. So that one, yeah. And then the one at the end. There's one right at the end, and it's kind of, I'm gonna be honest, it is not worth staying back for. If you guys want to know what it is, so you don't have to stay back for it, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll tell you what that post-credit scene is, because it's not worth staying. I stayed there and I was like, really? I really stayed back for that? Because it's just, it was stupid. It's up there with the Vulture, like, cameo in Morbius. It's just stupid. It makes no sense. I'm like, okay, I didn't give a shit, but okay, whatever. So there's that. So Venom: The Last Dance, look, it has its ups and downs. There's some cool stuff in it, but then again, if you're going into this movie expecting The Godfather, you're going to be disappointed. Now, I went in there with expecting it to be like the other two, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed aspects of it and stuff like that. Like I said, I don't know if it's better than the second one or better than the first one, but they're pretty much all around the same thing. So let me know what you guys think of Venom: The Last Dance. Did you guys enjoy it? Smash it down in the comment section below. Smash that like button. Click subscribe. And I'll see you guys next video. Until then, stay safe and peace out.